Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the playoffs of our Risen Season 3 Dominate League. Alright, our first stream match of this season, this playoffs, Bastille versus Poros on Patrol. This is a match you've all been waiting for. This is a match that's been hyped up for weeks, or 1 week in this case, as playoffs have only been released for 1 week. But this is what you've been waiting for. This is what it all comes down to. Now this is 12 people made playoffs, so it's not exactly group of 16, it's not a quarterfinals, somewhere in between. Whoever wins this moves on to quarterfinals and will be playing against Comdon. We will start soon. Apologies for the delay. And for now, I will be casting this until my co-caster come in. I am Eldwis for your first game, and we will be starting soon. Alright, so this first game, Bastille is on blue side versus Poros on Patrol on red side. Looking at coming into this, I'm thinking that they're going to look for something safe, something that they have, that they have always worked with, that actually works. We have some first band coming out, Rise, and a second band coming out with Jinx. Very straightforward, very good Venom bands right now. Montusker on the Rise as well, known to be very good at weaving in and out of fights, applying damage and staying alive. Work band against the jungler of Poros on Patrol, I Will Function KU. And Nivea, another band against Montusker, coming out from Bastille against Montusker. If you have read the power rankings, Poros on Patrol ranked, I believe, at number 4 or number 2. Player to watch, Montusker, the 1-2 shine on this team. And Bastille are showing just that. Poros on Patrol, on the other hand, heavily focusing on that bottom lane against Spartan Monkey and Hernandez. Nami, a trademark of Hernandez, and Spartan Monkey, the player to watch out for on Bastille. So both teams very aware of each other's strengths. And we have the first picks coming out. Varus, power pick coming out for Bastille, with Tristana banned. Tristana probably the number 1 AD carry in the game right now. Varus, I would say, sits at number 2, number 3 at most. On the other side, from Poros on Patrol, we have the Sound coming out, also a power pick. Sound recently coming back, I believe, in patch 8.4, shown to be a very powerful laner, and he has that je ne sais pas, if I were to call it that. He has great laning, very good poke in lane, and he has that great team fight ultimate. Engage halfway across the map, you have this massive train of a beast coming down at you. It's hard to block unless you have that one pick coming out of Bastille, and that is that Sejuani pick. You have seen it in the LCS from Xmithy, I believe. With that Sejuani, he is able to just dash right where the Sound would come in. And we have a Braum pick as well. Now I like this coming out of Bastille. Personally, one of my personal favorites. That Sejuani, that Braum, possibly, or in my opinion, the best early game team comp in the game. Level 1 invade, no one can beat that. That combination of permafrost plus concussive blows, chained together, that is over 2 seconds of stun time. In early game, that is an eternity. That is all the world. Now we have the dual bot of Poros on patrol already picked. You have the Lulu coming out for Slim and the Zaya coming out for a Pico. So looking at this, I guess it's safe to say that Poros on patrol are looking to really just get the game going, and they want to win that game in laning phase. They don't want to get to a point where the Varus can outscale the Zaya, although Varus does not outscale Zaya the hardest, not like Tristana can, but still very dangerous come late game. And second round of bans coming out, we have that Skarner and Gnar ban. Now, Skarner ban, you know, very straightforward. We've seen this a lot recently, actually, where teams would just pick that Skarner, pick a team comp that enables that Skarner to go in, and just grab that very vital AD carry or mid, pull them straight out, boom. One person out of fight, plus Skarner has incredible durability, which enables it to be a 1-for-0 rather than a 1-for-1, in which German might do. Another Zac ban coming out for Bastille to round out the 5 bans, focusing down on I Will Function K. And a little bit behind here, just gonna gloss over the Karthus ban, but at this point has to be a target ban. Karthus, he has a decent bit of power in the new meta, but not enough that warrants a, you know, just straight up meta ban, in my opinion. Now, as teams ready up to, you know, pick their selections, I'm just going to go over the last 2 picks coming out from each side. Bastille with that Gangplank and Orianna. Now, with this pick of that Orianna, you have a very obvious thing going on here. The Sejuani comes in with that long-range Glacial Prison. Varus comes up with the Chain of Corruption. Orianna Shockwave. Bada bing, bada boom. All the while, Gangplank, Cannon Barrage. You got a ton of damage coming down at one time. Even a Lulu Wild Growth can't stop that. However, what can stop that engage is that Veigar picked by Poros on patrol. And I do like that pick, that Event Horizon. The Veigar has come back in the meta in the last couple of patches, and that Event Horizon is just extraordinarily powerful. Huge stun, one of the longest stun durations in the game for a single ability, and a basic ability no less, not even an ultimate. Huge AoE, and would just stop that Sejuani, that Braum from going in using their ultimates, while these I can just hit from backline. Now I do like this combo between the Jarvan and the Veigar. Jarvan picked by the jungler of Poros on patrol. It fits into their idea of hitting Bastille hard in their early game and never taking their foot off the pedal, so that they can just roll over before Bastille can really scale up. In the case of this Varus, in case of this Gangplank, definitely champions that really want to scale. In this place, Gangplank might have a difficult time laning against the Scion, if the Scion builds right. And let's be honest, Scion won't be giving much up in order to counter this Gangplank. He'll be building that Glacial Shroud first, has the armor against the Gangplank, has the mana for poking down Gangplank. Current reduction, everybody loves that. And which will build into a Frozen Hearts. Now that's all well and good against this team of Bastille. So coming to this, I do have to say I like Poros on patrol's team comp. Now both teams have a very set team comp, very good team comps in their own. But coming to this, it's on Poros on patrol to make the plays. It's on them to do what needs to be done. So all Bastille really has to do in this is to just sit back, not lose lane as hard as as hard as anybody should. As long as the Varus, okay, going from top to bottom lane, I've already covered through top lane. Gangplank just has to scale up, survive lane, what any Gangplank does really. Now in the bot lane, you have that Varus Braum versus that's Lulu Xayah. Now Lulu is more of a, in this case, Lulu is more of a comfort pick rather than, a meta pick in the case of Portals of Control. Going back to stats, Lulu perhaps the most played support by the support on Portals of Patrol Slim. So, she would know the ins and outs of this champion very well, as well as the counter picks as well. The Lulu E help picks does not get stopped by a Braum Show, which is very important to note. Which helps in the poking in the early game. So when it comes to the spot lane, I would have to give it over to Portals on Patrol. Of course, that goes without saying. When you go top to bottom, you would give pretty much every lane to Portals on Patrol in order to win this early game, in order to keep Bastille from scaling up. Save for the mid lane. Now, the mid lane is the one place where Bastille might have some sort of advantage in the early game. Veigar is the champion. Veigar is that's one, almost like a sore thumb sticking out of Portals on Patrol. Not a early game champion, not a champion that really is meant to abuse the early game with. Veigar is that scaling AD carry. AP carry. Veigar is that champion that is sort of like an out for Portals on Patrol. In case things get low dicey, he can just go up, stun Varus or stun Orianna, and just bada bing, bada boom, pop them with just a few abilities. Wash your hands of that fight. So in this case, if I were Bastille, I would really want to just keep this Veigar down, keep this Veigar from scaling, and rather than just survive this early game, maybe make a play in the early game. That's where the Sejuani comes in. Sejuani, great jungler, perhaps the best jungler in the meta right now, or tied with Zac and Skarner. Maybe Jarvan. Jarvan has, fallen off a little bit in this meta that emphasizes the late game. But this Sejuani pick, I thoroughly enjoy, especially with that Braum. Once again, that Braum plus Sejuani, amazing combination, amazing power level. And it's up to the Sejuani in order to make plays in the early game. Until Xayah gets her Feather Storm, if Veigar uses his Event Horizon too early, the Sejuani has a great pick onto a couple of very immobile carries. Of course, that's what the Lulu is there for, that help picks. That's Whimsy, one of the highest utility supports in the game. But, all said and done, that can only target one champion. You still have to get rid of the Braum as well. And, even though you can target Sejuani with a Whimsy or target Braum with the Whimsy, that doesn't stop their passives from activating, Braum gets one hit on you, the Concussive blows on you. Doesn't matter if you turn him into a cupcake, that cupcake will send you flying. As well as, same case with the Veigar. If he uses his Event Horizon poorly, the Sejuani will just jump on him. Now inside the Spectre, we're about 1 minute left before the Spectre client catches up with the in-game. But I'll just go down the list of summoner spells. We have Teleport from both top laners, Smite from both junglers. Shouldn't have to emphasize that. Now we have a heal on the side of Orianna for Jensen and a cleanse on the side of Orianna for Jensen and a heal on the side of Veigar from Montusker. The cleanse on the Orianna, pretty straightforward. You want to cleanse your way out of that Event Horizon. You want to cleanse your way out of, say, a Roost from the Blade Caller or a Whimsy from Delulu. Take your pick of hard CC that's this Orianna wants to counter. Heal on the side of Veigar, however, that is, that's a toss-up for the Veigar. You could take heal in order to keep yourself from getting bursted down from that Orianna combo or that first wave of spells from Sejuani, Orianna. But you can also take cleanse in order to just get yourself out of the Orianna stun the Sejuani stun, the Braum stun. So, you know, it's up to Montusker to show that he chose the right summoner spell. Going to bot lane, we have heal out of both AD carries, pretty straightforward once again, and exhaust on the side of Lulu and a ignite on the side of Braum. Now I believe that ignite does not counter wild growth. Wild growth is health added rather than health healed, so it doesn't give much in the way there. But it does allow them to play a very aggressive lane. It allows them to get onto the champions early and allows them to really just get into the game there. Now as we load into game, this will be the first game between Pros on Patrol and Bastille. Strange little thing there. But worry not, we will be fine. Now as we look around map, I will introduce both teams. On the blue side, you have Bastille, Reluche in the top lane, Rosen in the jungle, Jensen in mid, Spartan Monkey on Verse in AD carry, and Hernandez, the new addition, on Braum. On side of red, you got Pros on Patrol, Tuberculosis on Sion and top lane, I Will Function KU on Jarvan and jungle, Montusker on the Veigar in mid, and Pico on Xayah in the AD carry position, and Slim on Lulu in supports. Now as we look into game, both teams pretty straightforward. This is a very clean line of scrimmage. No team looking to get anything really aggressive in the early game, and that might hurt Bastille. While Portals on Patrol has the better early game, this level 1, this pre-laning phase, might be the one place in the early game where Bastille actually has the advantage. That concussive blows, that's Permafrost gives them a huge advantage in terms of early game fighting power. And I believe if they wanted to, they could have gotten a few wards down, maybe even a kill if they were so inclined. Now, so both junglers starts with their lower side camps. Nothing much to say there. The Sejuani could have started blue, could have gone for the level 3 gank in the bot lane, and honestly if they did, they would have blown at least a few summer spells. Probably traded for a couple summer spells on the other side, the ignites, maybe the flash from Braum as well. But in this sort of thing, who knows what could have happened. It's just shoulda, coulda, woulda. Jarvan, same thing, could have done the same thing with Stirring Red, level 3 gang and bot side. But in his case, it works both ways, because if their Jarvan ends up going top lane, this gangplank early levels, very very squishy, there's a lot of stuff that's could hurt a gangplank in the early late game. And both junglers look to be meeting in the river right now. Jarvan going up for a gank. Sion strike, decimating strike lands, flashes the flag and drag. However, he might not get away from another shouts, Roar of the Slayer. Where Slayer is on cooldown, so very good gank in the early game from the Jarvan. Gets that flag and drag and misses, but gets the flash anyways. Reluche decides to stay in lane, however, decides not to use that teleport to go back, as he still has a couple of charges of Corrupting Potion. Jarvan decides to back off, however. I believe if he wanted to, he could have pressured the situation and might have even resulted in a kill. Now Sejuani is up on the top side. Remember, a couple patches ago, patch 8.3, the blast cones, what are they called? The edge blast cones, so to speak, the ones in red side tribush, blue side tribush, they spawn later, so Sejuani would not have been able to go to the wall unless she uses her Arctic Assault, which also in the same patch 8.3 has a long cooldown. a lose-lose situation in that case. So seems like both teams are in a bit of a lull here. Nothing much to say. But lanes are going as expected. Tuberculosis able to push in that Gangplank, keeping up in that mana and health game, as well as CS has a 5 CS lead once Gangplank gets rid of this large wave. Bot lane, that Xayah and Lulu are pushing in the Varus and Braum, and there's a first blood coming out from Tuberculosis. That I was not expecting that. Relush has no flash, was not able to. Honestly, he didn't expect as much damage coming out as he did from the Scion. And honestly, very well played from Tuberculosis, and poorly thought out by Lelouch. Didn't really just read the numbers. You know, it's a simple thing to miss, but ended up dying as a result. Now, so far it's not going too well for this side of Bastille. We have our first game coming out from Rosen here, looking to gank in the bot lane. All summoners are up, however, and they're pushing in, so chances are this gank will not come to fruition. But Rosen is patient about this. Everyone else in topside and middle has backed off. Oh, and I don't know if Poro's on patrol caught that. You have that little glitter on the Braum from the Sejuani. It seems that they haven't caught it. You have the little glitter on the Braum from Sejuani Permafrost, and she goes in with our Arctic Assault, gets 2 hits on the Permafrost, 3 hits, flashes in, looks to get that Permafrost down, can't get it. Flash traded jungler for AD carry. And very well played from the side of Poros on patrol. Could have gone a lot worse, and definitely could have gone a lot better there. Now the Sejuani is behind on the farm, and oh, this is the death of Lelouch here. Not even words to say. Flag and drag hits. That's unstoppable charge hits, and one last Decimating Strike. Lelouch might actually get out of this. He just dodges everything. One last Dragon Strike is enough to take down Lelouch. Flashless and teleportless. He will be hurting a lot in this lane. Now, the Scion is already up 101, a 0-2 Gangplank. Now, Gangplank is a champion that's meant to scale up, that's not meant to win the early game. Or rather, if you don't win the early game, you know, you're fine. You can take that. That's not what you want. You don't want to lose this hard, and you certainly don't want to win to a lane bully like Scion. Someone that already, at this point, let's look at it, already has